welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new. I'm very happy that you decided to join me today for another speed build, and finally, after what felt like centuries, I'm back with another episode of my little travel series. If you're new here or if you have no idea what this series is about, practically I build things inspired by real places of the world, and I've built some things already, but today we are going to London specifically. And once again, I'd like to point out that this is inspired by London in this case, and it's not an exact replica. But yeah, the reason why I gravitated towards London is because, well, I've lived in London for 4 years, or better, my boyfriend used to live there because he worked there. And so I would visit him really often, like once a month or even more, and sometimes I would stay for months, like visiting him, for example, when I had my holidays from university. So yeah, I know London inside and out. Actually, we have been living in different districts throughout the whole period he was there. And at first, he used to live really close to the Tower Bridge, so not very much in the city center, but not even outside in the outskirts of London. And then we moved into Willesden Green, which is another district, a really nice one, and it's really close to Kensington. And this little district I ended up building is very much inspired by Kensington, which is one of the richest areas of London, and the townhouses that you can see in Kensington are beautiful, just so beautiful, and the majority of them are white, and like the one I'm creating right now on screen actually. So yeah, I was very much inspired by those, and also I am very much familiar with their structure and how they are in general because I used to live in one. It wasn't as luxurious as this white one I'm building, but it was a nice townhouse, so yeah, couldn't complain actually. Actually, it was split into different apartments. Obviously, I didn't have a townhouse for myself, also because living in London is pretty expensive. I don't know if you're familiar, but the rent is extremely expensive. So yeah, we couldn't afford for sure to rent a old townhouse, but yeah, it was nice. It was a nice experience. But the bottom line of everything I've said up to now is that London is really dear to my heart. I love London. It's, I think, my favorite city ever, so far at least. It's not like I've traveled a huge amount, so I cannot say it's 100% my favorite city, but I love it so much. It's, I don't know, it's just the vibe it has. It's perfect for me, I don't know. And I also love the fact that, okay, because I live on the seaside, so having the sea close to me is really important for me. And obviously London doesn't have the sea, and yeah, it only has a river, which is Thames, and it's not even that pretty. The water is not crystal clear or something. So yeah, I could arguably say that probably it's not my favorite place to be, London, due to lack of sea, but I absolutely adore it, and I love that wherever you turn your head there is a park, or anyway there is some greenery around, and I love that because obviously I love nature in general, and also I love animals, and practically in every park in London there are either swans or ducks or geese. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a place I truly love. And also considering it's such a big city, and not that I've been in that many big cities, but I love the fact that yeah, there is a lot of greenery in general. So yeah, I absolutely enjoyed my stay in London, and actually I cannot wait to go back because I don't know, it's just so full of life and so full of different cultures, and a lot of variety of different people all around. So yeah, I really like the vibe it has in general. But yeah, we're not here to talk about my experience in London. even though yeah, I can recommend visiting London if you have the opportunity, obviously once this whole situation is, you know, done and gone, because as of now it's not like we can travel anywhere we want. It wouldn't be safe, so please don't do it. But anyway, if you haven't been to London, I'd say it's an amazing city, so yeah, definitely recommend it. But yeah, let's stop talking about, you know, my London experience, and let's start talking about this build, because obviously I have a funny story also about this build. Originally I wanted to build like only a couple of townhouses, and so I went into Bradchester, and yeah, we are in Bradchester right now actually, and it's the first time I build here. And all the tinier lots are, I don't know, the lighting, it's just not good at all. So yeah, I didn't want to build on those tinier lots, so I picked this one, which is like the center of the city center. I don't know how I could define it, but anyway, there usually is like a library here. Obviously I bulldozed it, but the issue with this lot is that it's a 50 by 40 if I remember well, so it's huge, and obviously I couldn't just build a couple of townhouses and leave it empty. So I built like 10 townhouses, I think, if I counted correctly. Yeah, so it became a bigger project than I anticipated. I wanted it to be a quick build, but obviously, as it always happens when I build, my builds always turn up to be bigger than I anticipated. So yeah, this one is no exception, and it's huge. I've included so many details. And another little thing that I wanted to mention is that I've decided to furnish all the townhouses, which, I don't know, may sound crazy because there are so many, and it may not look like it from the exterior, but they are huge. And yeah, so I decided to do this crazy thing. Obviously I'm not going to finish them all like now in this moment, and this build is actually pretty empty right now, but yeah, with time I'm going to furnish them, and the furnishings of these townhouses will be some like bonus videos. Once in a while I will have them out when they're ready, not necessarily on Mondays, which is my usual upload day. So yeah, you may expect to see another video. I think this week I should be able to have another video out, which is exciting because usually I struggle with just one video per week, so having 2 videos in 1 week must be exciting. Well, at least it is for me. I don't know if it's for you. I hope you will enjoy it. I don't know, I really hope so. But anyway, so this was to say that I'm going to furnish this whole build. Obviously you can find the empty shell on the gallery. It's not completely empty because I've already furnished one of the townhouses, so you'll find one already furnished. I'm not going to, you know, delete it just because I've already furnished it, so it doesn't make sense. But all the other townhouses are empty, so yeah, I think it's a good deal. So if you want to go on and furnish the others, or anyway, if you want to just play with one townhouse furnished, this build is already on the gallery. My ID is Giuliabuilds, obviously. And yeah, you can find me as Giuliabuilds everywhere. You can also find a direct link to the gallery in the description of the videos, and you can also find the tray files in the description of the video. So yeah, plenty of ways to download this build if you would be interested in it. I sure hope you would be. Also because I'm really proud of this build. Not only because, as I've already said, well, London is so like important for me. It changed my life and my perspective on life, because living in such a big city, I come from a very small city in Italy, which is nothing compared to London, and how big it is and how lively and how full of things it is. So yeah, it's kind of made me grow in a way, and also obviously it helped me improve my English, because otherwise I wouldn't be here talking to you in English. But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention is that I've used a lot of debug items. Obviously, most of them are base game. I think I've also used some city living ones, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, this build is not pack restricted at all because I wanted to go crazy with decoration. So I wanted to be sure I had the right things. For example, I never use vampires in my builds, but this time, like, all the fences and the accents were perfect. Indeed, as you can see, for this particular fence, I've used a vampire's fence. Well, it's a debug fence. I freely placed it, but anyway, it's still vampire. So my point still stands that vampires was a perfect pack for this build. So yeah, I've used it eventually. But aside from that, I was saying that I've used a lot of debug items because if you don't know about this yet, if you insert the sheets bb.showhiddenobjects and then bb.showliveeditobjects, you will find all the world items, and amongst these world items there are some particular ones that are perfect whether you want to create like a city center or something, because there are like traffic signs but also traffic lights and various poles with various like signs, and also yeah, a lot of things. You can find plenty of things to decorate streets, and yeah, I went really crazy, and you're going to see it shortly in this video because I'm now starting landscaping, if I can call it this way. But now, as you can see, I've realized by looking at my pictures once again that in London they have these sort of like bent lines on the street. I don't know precisely how to define them, but by reading online, because I didn't know this, so hopefully it can enlighten you as well. Whenever a street approaches like zebra crossings, they have these sort of bent lines to, you know, alert drivers that there are zebra crossings, and so that they have to slow down. I don't know this, we don't have this in Italy. We just have like signs that tell us that like zebra crossings are approaching. But yeah, so I decided to stay true to the real, you know, London, and I've made all of these bent lines on the street. I don't know if it makes sense, hopefully it did. But also, as you can see right now, I'm just adding more and more details. I've added a lot of ivies. Some of them are from Jungle Adventures, some of them are from Get Together, because yeah, Get Together was a perfect pack actually, and also Discovery University obviously, and also because some vines are from Discovery University, and also this fence I'm using is from the debug in Discovery University. So yeah, I'd say the most relevant packs for this build were definitely Vampires, Discovery University, and Get Together. So yeah, definitely consider having those if you want to download this build. Obviously, as always, I always try to be conscious of what I'm using, but this time I sort of went a bit crazy. I hope you won't mind it. I hope you will find this build interesting anyway, even though I've used a ton of packs, I suppose. But yeah, I really hope you don't mind it. Obviously, I will be making some more base game only homes and builds in general, so yeah, don't be afraid. And also, another thing I did is I created a little underground, because obviously how could I build like something inspired by London and not including a little tube? So yeah, that's what I've decided to do. It's really tiny, but yeah, I just wanted it to be decorative. I'm not even sure your teams can get down there, because I had a lot of issues with the flooring. It kept disappearing, and the only way I could make it work was by using a fence in front of the stairs, but this made them unusable, and I wasn't absolutely able to remove it because it would remove the entire floor. So yeah, but it's not functional anyway. I mean, it's just an underground room with some debug railings from Eco Lifestyle, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's not like it's functional or it serves a purpose or something. So yeah, everything that's functional is, you know, up there. But we are actually at the end of this video. As you can see, we are already on to the little video tour I made. If you have any suggestions on like the households that could fill these townhouses, please definitely let me know, even though one of them is already furnished, so for one of them there is no hope anymore. But yeah, I would be definitely curious to your suggestions, and maybe I could, you know, use some of them to furnish these townhouses. I don't know, it might be interesting. And also, if you have any suggestions on where we could go next with my little travel series, please let me know in the comments, because I love this series. I love exploring, like virtually exploring things throughout this game. So yeah, I would be extremely curious to know your suggestions. But yeah, we're actually at the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all next Monday for sure with my next video, but maybe also on Friday. Bye!